but I do want to start with the Celebrini because you've had a chance to see him this year. I've obviously watched him for a few years now. I mean, as far as freshmen go and the impact that he's had on Boston University, I mean, it feels Eichel-esque in terms of what we saw Jack Eichel do with a BU team that, was quite frankly not as talented as this one. But still, I think this is just a remarkable freshman performance, no matter how you slice it.
Especially given the age, given how young he is as a freshman, 17 years old. I mean, a lot of kids his age are seniors in high school, let alone playing in Hockey East and, being one of the top players in college hockey. It's and the goal numbers, I feel like the point totals, again, get kind of lost because there's been so much attention on the BC freshmen, and deservedly so with those guys. But all Celebrini's done is put up 59 points and 31 goals. I mean, he's right up there with Gauthier. He's one of the top goal scorers in college hockey as a 17-year-old. It's been a really special year. It's been a really special year. In any other season, without the BC top line doing what they've done, he's a slam dunk, no brainer for the Hobie, in my opinion. And may still end up winning it. I mean, you never know. He's right in that mix for sure. To me, he's one of the top three. He'd be in my top three. But yeah, it's been a really, really special year for him. I mean, and I know from talking to a lot of NHL people who have watched him play this year, this just kind of, everybody knew he was the top prospect in the draft next year, but a couple of scouts that I've talked to recently said, he went from, in their opinion, being the top prospect in the draft to the top prospect in the draft who's going to really have a special NHL career because of what he's been able to do against older, heavier guys this year.
I know. I've started to test this out on some of my friends in the scouting community, and I'm going to do it with our audience here. I think he's a lot closer to Connor Bedard than anybody realizes. I think that his all-around game, his ability to impact the game at both ends of the ice, his intense competitiveness, which I think is kind of built like his youthful look belies how fierce a competitor he is. He is constantly under duress in every game, and it does not matter. And then you look at what he's done this season, and you see basically you have to go back. So there aren't many guys that play in college hockey at 17. Craig Simpson at Michigan State was one of them way back in the mid 80s. So we're talking about almost 40 years ago when he was actually a sophomore at Michigan State, because he skipped grades in school. Like it's insane. But Celebrini's the highest scorer since then. So that we're talking about something that hasn't happened in 40 years in the college game with Macklin Celebrini. And you look at Fantilli, you look at Jack Eichel, they were late birth dates, so they were true freshmen. He is a younger than true freshman. And that to me is a big indicator of this is a very special player. And yes, Connor Bedard will always be the better goal scorer between the two of them. I think Macklin Celebrini has a chance to be as impactful over the course of his career in many different ways, maybe not on the score sheet. He might not win as many awards, but I think that Macklin Celebrini is the kind of guy that you are going to win. And I think Connor Bedard is too, that you will win Stanley Cups with. I think Macklin Celebrini has that kind of Jonathan Taves vibe of, and we forget how good Jonathan Taves was in his prime, but in his prime, he was a dude. And so like that, that is what I think Macklin Celebrini can be.